Amy Zaley with the Jerusalem Connection Regular Report for June 23. Where is all the support going? Recently, I had a young person ask me, why do you love Jewish people so much? I thought this was a pretty interesting question, and one answer I could have said is just go to our website and read our stance on anti-Semitism. But I didn't want to give somebody a task to do. So I explained as briefly as possible that we as Christians are to hate injustice against any people, anytime, anywhere. And specifically, the Bible, God's Word, tells us that we must love the Jewish people and that the Jewish people in the nation of Israel are part of God's plan through all of Earth's history. This young person nodded in agreement. I also went on to say, for being only 2 to 3% of the world's population, the Jewish people and Israel seem to get the brunt of persecution throughout history, and even to this day. Again, the young person nodded in agreement and said, you are right on that one. But what else is going on? A recent study said that support for Israel is down almost half among Christians between the ages of 18 and 29 over the last 3 years. According to a study done in Tel Aviv, as reported by the Jerusalem Post, support for Israel is declining among young people of the evangelical sector, and support for a Palestinian state is increasing. Support dropped more than half, albeit the position that Jerusalem should remain the capital of Israel is consistently supported at about 75%. And the support for the Palestinians seems to be more about compassion for a suffering people, which is actually a really good thing if properly addressed. Now, let's think about the atmosphere here in the U.S., which is often decidedly unchristian. In Los Angeles just last week, a visibly Jewish boy was playing on his scooter with his friends and punched in the face by a 50-year-old man who also said he was going to kill the boy's entire family. While the assailant was arrested, there was no mention of a hate crime charge, just assault and battery. In Philadelphia on Father's Day, a food truck event called Eat the Borders, designed to celebrate diversity in cultures, banned the only Israeli-themed food truck from the event after pressure from other participants. Tell me this isn't blatant anti-Semitism, and that it's not rampant, and that the news media is largely silent on this, particularly in an era of social justice. To turn this tide, we want to do our part. Prayer is at the forefront, and then actionable steps. The Jerusalem Connection is dedicated to reporting to all our supporters, viewers, readers, and our network the news of the day with biblical viewpoints on that news, and what we can do to address it. Our educational programs include our books as avenues, as well as other ministries that we directly support. And our Hebrew University Scholarship is another avenue and the latest as of 2021. We are raising funds so that each year we can support at least one Christian university student to go to Israel for a full semester of learning at Hebrew University, and to experience and live with the people and the culture of Israel, take in the land that they've read about in the Bible and learned about in Sunday school, and then to be ambassadors upon their return, who can bring that experience, that truth, and that passion for the biblical land and people back to their home colleges, universities, churches, and communities, and be equipped to defend and support biblical Zionism and manifest it in their daily lives, careers, and paths, and for the rest of their days. We want to turn that tide of waning support, which is also often the result of progressive narratives creeping their way into pulpits and classrooms, and the untruth of their anti-Semitic missions. And these are people are lulling Jews, Christians, and others with their ideology eerily reminiscent to what the atmosphere was in Europe in the 1920s and 30s. We want to teach our young people to love truth and justice and human rights with their Christian compassion, and that it doesn't stop with the Jews or the borders of Israel, and that Israel is the bastion of Judeo-Christian morality and ethics in a sea of hostility in the Middle East, and no revised history or social media narrative can undo that truth. Go to our website and learn about our scholarship program. Donate to it and help equip our next generation. If you know a college-age student and someone who might find this opportunity exciting, please refer them. We can support these young people, and the more we do so, the more we complete our mission. Shavua Tov, and have a great week.